Hi viewers! With so many copies of my silver testing slides now popping up, and even a hideous 3D printed plastic version, I thought I'd do a video on how they should work. And we'll go back to the beginning of the 10-year journey when I made this slide for myself, hewn from a solid piece of mahogany and finished in French polish. And that's when the journey started, and someone asked if I could make a folding version. And of course here we are today with over 2,000 of them made by me personally and sent all around the world. I can't even go into all the countries they've gone to. Obviously America, Canada, Russia, Estonia, New Zealand, Australia, Austria, Sweden, yeah, all over the world. And yeah, so over 2,000 of them that I've now made and sent out worldwide. So to get to the point of how they should work, I'll move some of these out of the way and be right back with you. So before I started making all these slides, I don't know, about 6 months or so of various tests to see if I could come up with a way of making the magnets react how I wanted them to, but at a lesser cost than my solid block slide. And I went through, I don't know how many trials of different size magnets, different power magnets, different shape magnets, various things to try and find, you know, the most financially economic way of making them, and there really wasn't one. But as many of you know, I don't make these slides for profit. There is no profit in it for me. I make them solely to help out the precious metals community. And, you know, I have tried to keep the price down as best I can, even though the neodymium magnets shot up by nearly 80%. I think I put £4 on the slide, per slide, to cover that. But anyway, so let's get into how they should work. Now, if you just want to test silver to make sure it's not ferrous, well, you don't really need a slide, you just need a magnet, because, you know, a magnet will tell you whether something is made from ferrous metal or not. The whole purpose of the slide is to show the eddy current effect, which is the effect created when silver is in contact with high-powered neodymium magnets. Now, I did some years back make a few of these compact slides, but someone asked me to, and I think one of them I sent to my friend Salivate Metal. Now, the issue with these compact slides is that the magnets have to be more powerful because you've got a shorter distance for the coin or bar to slide on, whereas this is the size I came up with as an optimum size, so that your coin or bar had enough distance for you to see the reaction. Now, if I do that same 1 ounce buffalo bar on the other slide, you will see it is much slower, which you would think, well, that's better. But if you've got a bar that is made from brass, which most of the fakes now are, brass contains a percentage of copper, so the copper will have a reaction, and you'll see this fake, it does go down slowly, unlike, oh, so maybe that Morgan's made from white metal, can't remember now. But as you'll see, the Morgan goes down very fast because it's made from white metal, it's non-magnetic. But the fake Scottsdale somebody using a slide that doesn't know how to use it could think, oh, that's going down slow, it must be real. But the reality of it is that it's not. Now I'll show you clearly the difference on the standard slide. There's your 1 ounce Buffalo and there's your Scottsdale. Now you can clearly see a speed difference on that. The more I do it, the faster it goes. It's great fun sliding Silverdown slides, as some of you know, or 2,000 of you know. Yeah, so I come up with this optimum arrangement and power and size of magnets that would produce that effect, that would show a clear difference between a fake made with brass. There you go, let's do another one there as well. Fake Pan Am bar. You see it's got a very, very slight resistance, and that's because it's made of brass, whereas the Morgan shoots straight off. Now I don't know what all these people are putting in their slides that they're making copies of these slides with, but I can tell you that I've never revealed what is in those slides. You know, you've all heard of trade secrets and you'd be surprised the amount of people that have contacted my distributors and asked you know, what magnets are in them, and you know, they've asked what dimensions are and stuff like that, and it's quite clear that they only want that information so they can make them and sell them thinking they're going to make money. Well, if you use the same components I do, you will not make money. And one of them who spoke to my UK distributor, he actually told him that he'd bought it to dismantle it so he could make them and sell them himself. Unbelievable. But even if you did, you wouldn't actually find out, because it's you know, unless you've got the equipment to test the strength of the magnets, you won't find out what strength it is, although I have mentioned it a few times. But you know, you won't find out about the 2-stage bonding process that I go through to make sure they're secured in there, stuff like that. Now I do have, as you might have guessed, any of you with any kind of woodworking skills, I do have assembly jigs that I use to help me assemble them, but you know, no 2 slides that I've ever made are identical, other than the granite effect ones, because I have templates for those. But the wooden ones, each one will be slightly different. Some might be slightly wider, some might be slightly longer. There is an approximate set dimension to them all, but it depends. You know, if you planing up a bit of mahogany and it chatters out a bit, then I'll put it through again and take another millimetre off, so that it might be slightly thinner. So there's so no 2 are absolutely identical, the wooden slides. We don't need that one, do we? We've got our lovely golden oak one. Sunshine coming through the window. Now I do have, as you may remember, some of you, years ago, they were all supplied with these plaques, and during 2020 the company that supplied me, they shut down the business because of COVID, but were planning on reopening. They said to me, just drop us an email and we'll still make them for you, it's just that we're not having the shop open. And of course I emailed them, I WhatsApped them, no reply. So I found another supplier in a different part of the country, had to order, I think it was 100 of them to get them at the same price. But then after that I thought, you know, this is ridiculous. I'm, you know, ridiculous trying to get hold of those plaques. So as you know, they are now branded. Now the first few brandings I tried was a bit of a learning curve as well. It ended up ruining a few slides. And of course I was doing it freehand with the branding iron, and of course to get a perfect burn and get it central was an absolute nightmare. So I did, which some of you may have seen, I did make up this jig that the back of the slide goes into, and that secures the back of the slide in place, and then I brand it in that corner so it's always identical. So if I don't get a good enough burn, I can put the branding iron back on and burn it again without it being in a different place. And it is infinitely adjustable, so that depending on if the width varies a few millimeters, I can adjust it. So I have tried to you know, cut the costs, like I said, by using the branding iron. Obviously you've got the outlay of the branding iron and the cost of the gas, but you haven't got the £2 per plaque that I was paying for the little plaques. And you know, and I've tried over the years other ways to try and keep costs down. You know, I've tried different suppliers for the hinges. Some of them were absolute rubbish, because any of you who understand woodworking, when you've got a pivot point to get this parallel and to get that to sit dead flat without it rocking is a 2-point axis, so it takes a bit of work, and you can't have cheap hinges that are all wonky and hideous. So I have got a company in Ireland that I buy these from, obviously in bulk, because that's obviously, you know, saves the cost as well. Now I have tried to save costs other ways, and one of them was with the baize that goes on all of my slides, and this is the baize that I originally used, and I've tried several different brands, and this is a German made product and this is a Chinese product. Now I bought a well, I usually buy them in a 5 or 10 metre roll, and so I bought, I think this was a 5 metre roll of this one to try. It may not be visible, but it is a slightly different black, it's a bit blacker. But anyway, after trying to put it on a few slides, I will show you why I had to stop using it, and that money that I forked out for that 15-foot roll was a total loss. Now if I just, this is a 50p, right, if I just rub that 50p on that slide baize rather, and I put that on the German one and rub it, as you can see it will flatten it a bit. I mean, I was being rather aggressive, but this stuff is just, you know, absolute crap. And I thought, you know, someone using their slide a lot, running it down there a few thousand times, it's just not, it's not up to my standard. It's you know, and I don't know what these other people are using on their slides that they're making. I don't know what magnets they're using, because I've never revealed it, and unless they done the same testing as I did to try and work out what magnets work best to give you that reaction, then you know, you could be buying something that isn't going to show you the actual difference between a brass bar and a silver bar, especially if that brass has got a slightly higher copper content. It could you know, it could fool you. Anyway, hope you found the video informative, and for those who wanted to see a bit of silver down the slide, let's put this 2024 Krugerrand. We've done the Morgan. Well, I think we've done all of those now, haven't we? We're not going to put that on there because we know what will happen to that, and you can't get the damn things off. Anyway, I will leave you and catch you on the next one. Hopefully I'll have my cup of coffee next time. Bye.